The warrior is strong, yet his sleep is fragile.
He's got him straight away.
His wisdom, an amalgamation of precedent, yet his decisions cannot be based on the frailties of man.
Oh, right hand! He really caught him with...
This is the Warriors Code. I was watching. I was thinking like, dang, I gotta go back and revisit that. Anyway, I first discovered the Warriors Code about a decade ago. I remember, let me tell you how long I've been covering boxing. When Chris Eubank Jr. used to be fighting on Box Nation. When was that? I can't even remember. Let me see if I can remember the first Chris Eubank Jr. fight. I remember this. This video's on the channel. No, on the other channel. When did I come in? I came in around here. I don't know what the first, because I was building up toward this. I remember this was one of the first significant fights I ever covered on YouTube when I became consistent before Mayweather, Pacquiao, and all that. The first fight I ever covered on YouTube was Pacquiao Shane Mosley post fight. It was crazy times. Anyway, I've been covering this guy for so many years. It's been a decade. Every single one of these fights, I have a video for on the internet. Nope, wait. I don't have George Groves. For those who don't remember, I was comatose. I went to a coma the week before that. So I don't have this one. I didn't cover this one, but I got Avni Yildirim. I got JJ McDonald. Do I got JJ? I might not, because I think I was still in recovery around this time. I know I covered I covered all of these. And here we are, a 35-year-old Chris Eubank Jr. By the way, I'm gonna go ahead and say it. He's gonna win. I got him winning. Now here's the reason why. I'm actually giving you my significant reasons on why I think he's going to win. Number one is he's the more experienced fighter, the weight. Also, according to Eddie Hearn, there's a rehydration clause on Eubank Jr. And he predicted that Eubank Jr. is going to come in around 175 on the night. The weight's 160. So I'm guessing to myself, or assuming, that the rehydration is 15 pounds. He went through a whole spiel at the Grand Arrivals today that was on the Zone platforms. In fact, maybe I should get you guys the clip. Should I get you guys the clip? Yeah, why not? Let me go do a jump cut. But I'm going to be here Saturday night streaming the fight. And I'm actually going to be live after the fight. My first live stream in, I don't know, close to a year, give or take. So as you can see, I'm revving up, pumping out the content. YouTube bitch slapped me for not being consistent for about 3 years. So my videos are not promoted. And basically, long story short, I reached out to somebody who I used to be in heavy contact with YouTube, and telling me basically how to fuck around with the algorithm. And long story short, I got to keep pumping out content, consistently, at least 2 videos a day on average, as YouTube starts to get, the algorithm, moving around. And then all I need is like really one big fight night and a couple of live streams with about 10,000 views or so. And then we can keep the ball rolling. So for those who don't know, I apologize, but I'm just getting this out the way before we go and talk about some boxing. Basically, long story short, I got to be consistent for about a month, before YouTube numbers start really picking back up again. That's just, how it works. Anyway, moving forward. I'm going to show you the face-off. They had the Grand Arrivals today. As you can see, Ben Shalom and Eddie Hearn, they've been beefing. Eddie Hearn even threatened Ben Shalom, physical, domestic violence, and aggravated assault, actually, here in the States. But here's the thing. I don't know if I'm hype. Don't get me wrong. I want to watch the fight. I'm very interested in the fight. And I think maybe what's rubbing me the wrong way is this bullshit right here. It's $25 for us here in the States. We in the States are paying for 2 British fighters. Now, here's the thing. I know y'all say, well, we pay for American fighters, mate. Chat shit, get banged. I know how y'all get over in the UK. Y'all love to talk about how y'all got to stay up till 3, 4 o'clock in the morning to watch American fights. Y'all love talking about that shit. But hear me out. Hear me out. I got to be honest. Nobody knows about Chris Eubank Jr., casual fans, and Conor Benn over here in the States. There's been no American outside of social media, unless you find it, you got to go really, no one in the States of casuals are searching up Eubank Jr. or Conor Benn. They have nothing to link these fighters to. Yeah, okay. Conor Benn fought in Orlando. Yeah, okay. At one point in time, Chris Eubank Jr. was a PBC fighter and on his way to get Jamal Charlo. That was a thing. But they don't have any real links to over here. Now, from my understanding, and, we've heard about it before, they were actually even in talks. Chris Eubank is still in the running to get Canelo. Canelo's going to fight William Skull next week. By the way, right now it is 9:23 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, April the 22nd, 2025. So, this Saturday, the 26th, is when this card is going to be taking place. Next weekend, Canelo is going to be taking on William Skull in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. Canelo, if he wins, which he should win, is supposed to go on to fight Terrence Crawford in September. Then after that, he wants Bivol. It could be. I just think he just keeps saying Bivol names just to put it out there. I don't think he wants Bivol really for real. But anyway, long story short, there's some big fights out there for Eubank Jr. Now, Conor Benn, let me tell you something. First, let's go back and look at the resumes. And I know I'm supposed to show you the face-off and play the sound bite of Eddie Hearn talking about the weight, but let's go look at the resumes. Chris Eubank Jr., 34-3 with 25 KOs. He's a power puncher. He's gotten better technically over the years. But he's more of a stalk. I don't really call him a technician, but he's more of a technical fighter than Conor Benn. Conor Benn's style is still not defined yet. But anyway, 34-3 with 25 KOs. Notable fights. Now, he did fight a former Golovkin mandatory, Zarameta, but I don't count him. Liam Smith, 2 fights, quality fights. That's a route they can go. Liam Smith is on the undercard. They can go that route if Eubank Jr. doesn't get Canelo next. Who's he going to fight next? The third fight with Liam Smith would make sense. Liam Williams, no, I'm not going to really count that, but a known name in the UK circle, domestic level fighter. Matvey Korobov used to be really good. Matvey Korobov ended his career on a streak of bad luck. Go do the research on that. Can't really go down the but Matvey Korobov basically threw out his shoulder. And I actually had Matvey Korobov going on to win if it would have went the distance, but it never did. So Eubank Jr. got the win. So depending on what you think about that. James DeGale, long in the tooth, a fight that happened a little bit too late. James DeGale was, he's been, how can I say, he had a lot of miles on him, but still quality win. I'm going to count that one. So far, I'm counting the Liam Smith win as quality wins. I'm counting the James DeGale as a quality win. Matvey Korobov, Leah Williams, George Groves. Now, I remember a lot of people back then, the famous meme before memes really took off, thought he should hang him up. But since then, as you can see, he had a career resurgence. Avni Yildirim, a former Canelo mandatory. I don't count him. He's always been shit. Arthur Abraham was too old at that point in time. A younger Arthur Abraham would have battered Chris Eubank Jr. Renaud Quinlan, I can't really. I remember the unfortunate situation. I'm glad he's alive. How's he doing, by the way? Nick Blackwell had a brain bleed. Gary Spikel 7, nah. And then of course the big loss to Billy Joe Saunders, a rematch that we never got. By the way, Billy Joe Saunders ain't nowhere to be found. And I remember there was some photos of him. He got real fat, like that dude. They'd be like, "I'm only human after all. We make mistakes. That's all I can say. Don't put your blame on me." That dude. I don't know the lyrics, but. Solid resume. But, as you can see, there's some over-the-hill fighters, some fighters that he fought where, it was a little bit too late in the other fighter's career. So what would you say is the best win of his career? Let's go look at it. The best win of his career is Liam Smith, if you really look at it. Can we argue that? Can we argue Liam Smith is the best win of his career, unless you want to count Arthur Abraham? But let's go look at Arthur Abraham before he ran into Chris Eubank Jr. You see what I'm saying? He wasn't really, okay. But at this point in time, he was about 40. Do I remember this fight? I think I remember I said that Chris Eubank Jr. showed real good technical skill. Let me go look at my post-fight video and see what I said there. Let's go Eubank. Abraham TstreeT. Let's see what I said. Usually, how I felt about the fight is in the title of my video. Eubank and Groves have words. You'll do them next. That don't tell me nothing. Well, anyway, so I'm gonna go ahead and say Liam Smith, even though Liam Smith wasn't really at his best, but he's better than he. I don't know. But Conor Benn, 23-0 with 14 KOs. For those who don't remember, he had a failed test, which he never really proved his innocence. He had a whole manifesto and everything on Piers Morgan he was talking about, and never really proved helped himself with the accident. Get it? So I just don't. Here's the thing. Ain't nothing on the resume. He got kind of the same problem as Eubank Jr.'s resume, where you look at Chris Algieri, okay, long in the tooth. This wasn't the Chris Algieri that used to live with his parents, eat all the avocados up, and used to be dancing around the ring. Chris Van Herden, ill. No disrespect to Adrian Granados. So, but this was the time when he was on his way to a title shot. You know how you want to get like those names on the resume of your fighters. Very Eddie Hearn matchmaking. It's like you'll get the names, but the names by the time you get them for his younger fighters be like, it's like passing to the torch kind of when these guys become like journeymen. Samuel Vargas, Granados, Algieri, Herden, all these guys right here have fought a significant fight at one point in time for a championship. Whether it was Samuel Vargas against Danny Garcia was at that fight. Adrian Granados had plenty of them also against Danny Garcia. Chris Algieri, remember, he fought Manny Pacquiao. Big win where he came on the scene when he beat Ruslan Provodnikov. Chris Van Herden fought Errol Spence. So you see the matchmaking there, but then his career got stalled with the drug test. Also, let's not forget, a lot of people, where's he at? Pinot, him. A lot of people thought he lost the first fight. He went back on 40, but he was fighting a lot at this time, so they thought it was kind of fatigue. But whatever the case may be, he's got a gift back then too. I just don't know. I think he's going to come out hot. He's going to come out hot. But if the fight goes the distance or the later it goes, I think Eubank Jr. has the advantage. And it's not a significant weight clause where, it's like 10 pounds rehydration. But remember, the first fight was supposed to be at a catch weight of 156 or was it 155? But since the accident, Conor Benn had no leg to stand on. So basically he had to say, all right, fuck it. I got to go to the whole 160. But they got a rehydration clause in there because if you think about it, it's his fault the first fight didn't happen or didn't happen the first time. So he's got to go up to 160 pounds. Now, I remember Eubank Jr. saying when he was interviewed, it was like, wait a minute. They keep saying he's a 147-pound fighter. He hasn't been to 147 in 3 years, he said. Yeah, 3.5 years. So as you can see, 3 years. Well, here you go. Last time was 2020. Yeah, 3 years. But still, nonetheless, he's still a smaller fighter. Even though Eubank Jr. has fought as high as 168, he was the smaller fighter up there. But still, Conor Benn, it can't be argued he's the smaller fighter. It can't. So anyway, let's go play some clips. Take a time out, like the video, subscribe. We're going to be here covering the press conference as well. And during the press conference after that, that's when I'm going to wait. The press conference is tomorrow, right? What's tomorrow? Wednesday? The media workout's tomorrow. All right. Well, anyway, we're going to be covering the press conference, and that's when I'm going to talk about the undercard. In fact, let me briefly mention the undercard here now. You got Liam Smith taking on Aaron McKenna. Big step up for Aaron McKenna, but I'm not going to count him out. Every now and then you get a guy like Aaron McKenna fuck around and beat Liam Smith. Not saying he should. I'm just saying, pay attention to that fight. Anthony Yarde versus Lyndon Arthur. If Ben Whitaker don't go on the fight Willie Hutchinson, then I think the loser or the winner of this fight he should face. They're fighting for the second time. Wait a minute, this is the third time, isn't it? I'm sorry, my memory's been shit these days, guys. Yeah, the third time. Yeah, they're fighting the third time. I've never really been high on Anthony Yarde. One fight he'll look like, you know, he can really... I actually really liked his performance against Kovalev. But you never know. You got Chris Billum-Smith fighting at Bridgerweight. Vidal Riley versus Chevron. I forgot. I've seen him fight before. Chevron Clark. Chevron, however you pronounce his name. But anyway, I would rate this card a B. This is on a plus minus scale too, so it's not a B minus. It's not close to a C. It's not a B plus, because it's close to an A. Could it be a B plus? But that would be like close to an A minus. I don't know. What you guys rate this card? I don't know. I'm gonna stick with the B. Anyway, take your time, like the video, subscribe. Also, liking the video can help my videos get up in the algorithm too. So, you know, make sure you guys do that. Jump cut.
A fight many years in the making. You're the naturally bigger guy, 160 pounds, middleweight, and you're fighting Conor Benn coming up 2 weight classes. How much of an advantage do you think you have in the size, strength, and power department?
I keep hearing this 2 weight classes thing. He's not coming up 2 weight classes. His last fight was at 156 pounds. He's putting 4 pounds on. He hasn't been a welterweight for 3 years. This fight isn't about size or weight. It's about skill. It's about dedication. It's about expertise.
By the way, Mike Kopincher, formerly of ESPN, several media platforms before this, worked his way up the ladder. This is not him hosting an event. You know, if you watch today, it's just not him. It's just not him. But anyway, I want to see Eddie Hearn. Where he was at. As you can see, he was pretty pissed off about the weight question. Where you at, Eddie? I don't want to go searching through this all deep, but let's see if we can just stumble upon it.
I'm sold. Are you? I'm in. You're pretty good at this.
But
Oh, by the way, he was laying in Eubank Jr. too. You can tell there's bad blood there. And also, Eubank Sr., that's a big storyline too, if he's going to be there. I think he's going to be there. I think they're going to make, you know, a bit of a show out of it. So pay attention to that as well. They've been beefing over the last several years. But during the build-up content, you can hear Eubank Jr. really wants his father there. And it makes sense for an event like this for his father to be there. And also, Eubank Sr. is a showman. So I'm pretty sure, you know, him and his son already talked. They already know he's going to be there, you know, the whole nine.
we're not really looking at it as that. We're just looking at winning. This fight is so... I don't like the narrative of, oh, it's a circus, you know, just because everyone knew their dads. These are 2 world-class fighters in their respective divisions. This is a great fight.
I want
one can sit here now,
get to the weight part.
and tell you
I should have
what is
time-stamped it. My bad.
But the winner, look, Chris Eubank Jr. He's 36, is he? You know, he's at the back end of his career. He's looking for some big fights. Conor's still a young man. He goes out there and knocks out Chris Eubank Jr., coming up 2 weight divisions to do so. This kid's cracked it. He's hit the absolute jackpot worldwide as one of the biggest stars in the sport. But we're not really looking at it as that. We're just looking at winning. This fight is so important to Conor Benn. It's so important to his dad. It's so important to the team. It's so important to his legacy. This is a complete one-off, like, freak occurrence between 2 world-class fighters whose dads happen to have the greatest rivalry in the history of British boxing.
I'm sold. Are you? I'm in. You're pretty good at this.
I don't even need to sell it. I mean, you could even have Shalom up here. He'd sell it.
The schedule.
I think what you said there, though, like, he's not bothered about that. He's just bothered about winning. I think that's the most.
So here's where I'm at right here. It's nearly 10 p.m. on the 22nd. So here's where I'm at. Tomorrow, I'm not going to cover the media workup. I'm going to be watching. And for those who don't know, even if y'all don't see me putting out content, I'm a boxing degenerate. I watch everything. Like every boxing event that's on somewhere, you'll see me lurking around in chats. I be in people's streams. You know, I be everywhere in boxing. You just may not see me putting out the content.
It's important thing.
The payday.
I will be here for this. the press conference. I'll be covering it afterwards, and I'll be talking about the fight again, the undercard, recapping the press conference. And the weigh-in, I'm kind of interested in seeing the weigh-in, so who knows? I may live stream during the weigh-in. I haven't done that in a long time, but we'll see. Oh, no. I got to do some shopping on Friday morning. I'm sorry, guys, so I probably won't be here to stream during the weigh-in. But I will be here streaming after the fight and doing my fight night coverage. And who knows? I might stream during the main event.
Been great, but the difference is the mentality between the two fighters. And of course, Eubank's a competitor.
Oh, I forgot you can speed it up on YouTube.
I'll tell you what, he don't want to win like Conor Benn. I'm telling you now. Eubank is at the back end, the money's there, the villa's there in Dubai, the games of poker are there in Las Vegas, the villa's at wherever he stays there. Conor's coming into that world, I promise you.
He can talk his ass off.
Both like to spend their money. For Conor Benn, I've never seen anyone want to win so bad. You know how hard this kid's trained? I've never seen anything
YouTube's
like
got this new feature where you can just hold.
That doesn't mean you're going to win, but what it does is it gives you every opportunity to win. And that's what I said to him. I spoke to him on Sunday night, and he's buzzing. I think he's a bit nervous. I think he's thinking, Jesus, this is upon us. And I said to him, mate, you can look yourself in the mirror, and you can make that ring walk knowing you could not have done.
Boy, he is laying it on. Here, let me find this weight. I'm sorry. I'm going to do another jump cut. Here we go, about the weight.
Really and truly, you know, this fight is huge regardless of what's happened in the past. It's all about Saturday night now, so I'm with Eddie. I don't think there's going to be any fireworks as such, perhaps at the weigh-in. But, Ed, I want to quickly talk about this weight. Everyone talking about the weight of Chris Eubank Jr. Do you honestly do you think there's an issue here of people talking about it a bit too much?
Chris Eubank's weight?
Yeah.
I think it's more of an issue for Conor Benn.
Yeah, I was going to say, because this...
actually the only person that's talked about the risks in the fight in terms of the risk to Conor Benn of moving up is Chris Eubank Sr. I mean, he's the one that's saying it's too dangerous for Conor Benn. Everyone's talking about the danger of Chris Eubank making the same weight that he's made his last 5 fights. Yes, there is a rehydration clause. Every time I've been around him, that hasn't been a problem in terms of those numbers. He'll certainly have to watch himself, but it's not like he's going to have to be not hydrating, not eating. My concern is for the safety of my fighter, Conor Benn. He's the one jumping up, fighting the much bigger man. I expect Conor Benn to come in around 157, 158 pounds. I think he'll come into the ring about 165 pounds. And I think Chris Eubank Jr. will come into the ring about 175 pounds. I think he'll be giving away about 10 pounds in the ring. I don't think it will matter. No. The way that he's been performing in training camp, the way that he's been sparring, the size of the opposition he's been sparring against, he's ready for those guys. And let's not forget, his last 2 fights have been at 154, you know, when he's had those interim fights. So, listen, there's no doubt he's at a disadvantage in terms of the size. I honestly don't think it's going to matter.
No.
But he's been able to...
So, there you have it. I am going with Chris Eubank Jr. Conor Benn's chances are... His best chances are early, in my opinion. To try to, get Eubank Jr. out of there. But I just can't see it. Despite what you may think of the level of competition winner when he fought him, he still has the experience. How old has Conor Benn, by the way? Has Conor Benn 30 yet? 28. Okay. So Conor should be going into his prime, but he don't have nothing on here where I can say, yo, I guess I'm saying it this way. I don't have enough. I never seen him as a special fighter. It's nothing there, to where at least we know what Eubank Jr. is going to bring. So with that being said, I'm going to get out of here. I'm TstreeT Controversy with Fight View 360. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe. Follow me on Twitter at TstreeT Controversy. The links to my social media are down below in the description box. See you guys later.